Space Podcast. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl. And welcome once again to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, I am Russ, and with me as always, he is the Sugar Ray to my Vernus Brown, the one and only Big Les.
What's up, dog?
What's up, man?
I was gonna start off. It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh, that's the wrong show. That's the wrong show.
Wrong show. You got the reference, Les? Did you get the reference this time?
I got it.
You sure?
I got it. We good. We
All
good.
right.
That's why I just started laughing. I'm gonna leave it alone.
What's the movie?
Oh my God.
I gave you a softball. Oh, come on, Les.
You lobbed it up. I can't call it. You said Sugar Ray Leonard and what's his name?
No, not Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray. Come on now. And Vernus Brown.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
you got to know this. I know you know this. There you go.
I knew I was just gonna see how long it was gonna take.
All right, you back to 500.
There you go. There you go. I should get a little bit more points for peanut butter and jelly time.
Yeah, no.
No.
We hadn't had a chance to talk since Snowmageddon in the Southeast,
I
man.
know, right, man?
You guys doing all right, huh?
Man, you know, went and bought the last slice of bread I could find. But other than that, that was about it. Had to get that low-cal Sara Lee bread.
But
Tastes like air.
that
You
was
had to
it.
toast that thing. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I toasted. I made some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I never understood that one, you know, why everybody just go and buy bread and milk.
Never. I guess people are drinking creamer. You know what I'm saying? That's all the creamer. The heavy
all of it was gone.
Who drinks buttermilk?
Gone. I went into the store the night before because I had a taste for some broccoli and cheese soup.
Yeah.
And I was going to go and, you know, get the stuff to make it. And I walked over looking for some heavy cream, gone. No, half and half. Nothing. All of it was gone.
Nothing.
And we didn't even get any of the weather. We just got rain.
See, that's the part that killed me. It's crazy. I tell you, I swear I saw a dude driving down the highway over here in a little Honda Civic with a cow in the back. You know, I guess his family just needed the milk that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
completely unpasteurized. Okay.
Completely. You're getting it straight off the farm that way, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm lactose intolerant. I got to drink that.
What was the guy that
Fairlife anyway?
They put his mouth up to the udder and was drinking the milk straight off the udder. What was the guy?
Oh, my God.
Tom Green?
Yep, Tom Green. It's funny. I ain't heard from Tom Green.
He ended up with cancer.
Oh, that's what his problem.
Yeah.
He did some dumb stuff.
Yes, very.
Yeah, well, you know they're bringing out a new Jackass movie.
Yeah. You
gonna go see it?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to go see it. But anyway, something that is not dumb is the fact that we got another special guest on here.
Oh.
She is the host of Porch Time with Miss Mckinney. None other than Miss Mckinney herself.
Hey now. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Oh, wow. Welcome to the show and welcome into the Man Space.
I appreciate being able to be in the man space, and I'm glad you guys invited me to your platform. Thanks.
Thank
You have the distinction of being the fourth woman ever to grace the Man Space airwayer.
Yes, because y'all know a good one when you see one. Y'all know a good one when you see one. But really, I'm tickled pink if that's the case. Thanks.
Oh, isn't it nice?
Well,
She's just too nice.
We are honored. I know.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's that devilish laugh right there.
It's not. Let me go on mute. Oh, me. You guys are hilarious. I can hardly get through an episode ever without like falling out of my chair. And the snort laugh that I have said I will not do in this episode, but you guys are absolutely hilarious. And I mean, wow, 83 episodes. Like, really, I want to be an adult like y'all.
Oh, she's so
I think
sweet.
your show actually started like a week behind us. So you're right there with us. So
That wasn't nice. I don't have 83 episodes. I said I want to grow up to be like y'all. No, I'm kidding. Thank you. You guys are so structured. I love how you have, what is it? The little lady that talks at the front and everything.
Oh, voice girl. Yes.
Voice girl, yes.
Girl. Yeah.
Yes.
See, y'all are all put together and things like that. I'm simply just a country girl. And if you call me country, I don't get offended in the least. I think it's a compliment. Doesn't bother me at all. And that's kind of where Porch Time with Miss Mckinney came into. So if I can tell you that story, y'all ready for it yet?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I'm 44 and I have a son that's now 22, but of course he wasn't always 22. I wasn't always 44 for those of you who didn't know that. And when we moved into our home, it has a nice long front porch and there's a little corner where I can see people that pass by and they pass me before, they look back and say, oh, there's Miss Mckinney. So it was like the perfect little hiding spot. It was great for snooping on my son. When he would leave, I was sitting there. When he would come back, I was still sitting there. He hated seeing me on the porch, which, made it even that much more enjoyable for me, right? So
was
I'm sitting there.
Was it a look that he was like in trouble when he sees you sitting on the porch? Like, oh, Lord.
Just disgust, total disgust. She's still sitting there. She is still sitting there, just disgust. Like, go in the house, go on the side, do something. And so one morning while I was sitting out there, I have 3 pecan trees in my yard and lots of squirrels, right? And so there was one squirrel that I saw in particular, and I knew it was him, and I gave him a name. His name is Rufus. And I knew it was Rufus because his scrotum was huge. And he was dragging it behind him. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? And then I realized what it was. And I was like, Rufus, okay. So I watched them, be methodical about the nuts, or excuse me, I call them the valuables of life. They pick their nuts and they bury them all over the yard. I talk about that in one of my episodes. It's interesting, y'all. It's very interesting. Y'all go check it out. And what gave me the idea for a podcast is because one day Rufus sat right there in the corner, which was probably like 2.5 arms length from me, which is pretty close for a squirrel, and looked me in my eyes. And so when we look up some things, because yes, I am a Christian, but some things mean some things, right? So I trolley on out to Google and looked that up. And when a squirrel gets your attention at that magnitude, like looking in your eye, it means that you need to have more fun. So I'm not really a clubber. Right. I really don't do the eyelashes, green lipstick. And I wasn't into doing a whole lot of fornicating. So I decided I was going to do a podcast instead. So that's where Porch Time with Miss Mckinney came from. I think it was a great idea. I think it was a better option than fornication. So
well, those are some hell of a choices. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? No, but you really got to narrow it down. You just got to narrow it on down.
Hey, green lipstick and fornication. I'll just do a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all
So you're doing your show, The Porch Time with Miss Mckinney. I know you're on Clubhouse. You have like multiple avenues that you have going on. What are some of the other things that you're working with?
So the whole point of Porch Time with Miss Mckinney was to help out. There were a lot of individuals who had, and it started right around COVID, I will say. So a lot of individuals took off on trying to sell some things on the internet. And everyone was like, share my stuff, do this, do that. And it was like a bright idea to me to, maybe combine the two. So my I Am episodes, I actually do have some people that have paid for those. I do. And, I like to promote their stuff and get their stuff out there. I've always been an excellent hype girl. It's just kind of like, putting a little monetary flair along with it. I like to be very transparent. So I wanted to use as many platforms as possible. The podcast is one, but then I came across people that were like, podcast, what does that mean? Like, is that the radio?
Right.
Or, so it was kind of like, okay, well, here's Clubhouse and, anything else besides Facebook Live. Like you people go and look and do this and do that. So I like to use all kinds of different avenues. I will start doing a little bit of YouTube starting in February. So we'll see how that goes.
That's what's up. So you seem to do a lot of interviews with your show. What's your background? And how does that play into what I hear on your show?
The background is that I'm nosy. I'm that nosy mama that I told you was sitting on the porch. So now you come into my space, you come onto the porch and you spill it and I ask the questions that I have and we recorded it and it's beautiful to me. So that's pretty much where, again, it's all me. I get to be transparent. I try to look for individuals who are ready to, share the real of everything that's going on in their lives. Because I feel like we don't have enough of that. We have a lot of, I can't say this because it's social media, or I can't act like this because someone might not receive it. So I love having a platform that's, transparent.
Right. And that's one of the things that I think is kind of the struggle that I think we have, because we typically walk a line. We try to walk a fine line. Sometimes we may dip a toe over with some of the stuff that we talk about, but
I trip over it mostly.
But, we kind of tried not to go too far left, too far right. We pretty much try to stay in our lane. And even with our dynamics, Les and I, we agree on so much. But we're very, very different people.
Yeah. Our views line up right with each other, but we're completely different.
Completely different. But that's what makes us work. So when it comes to like you and like prepping for your show, because a lot of times when we do our show, I may send him a topic and say, hey, this is what we're going to do today. And I may send it maybe 15, 20 minutes before we do the show. And he'll just text back, okay. And we go with it. Or sometimes I don't know what we're going to talk about. And we just get on the air.
We talk about fluffernutters.
Right. and we roll with it. But how do you prepare? Right. How do you prepare for your show?
I do a lot of social media stalking to see exactly like who I want to invite on. And as far as getting ready for the day, it's not a lot, just some prayer. Lord, please let me get the link right. All those kinds of things. Because again, I'm not really, I'm not Miss Podcast America. I'm just having a podcast right now to get some things out there and seeing kind of where it goes. So I don't really have a ritual. Maybe I should develop one, but I don't have one right now.
For the Manspace Nation out here that hasn't heard your show before, what's the best way that you would describe your show?
That it's porch talk, but I don't want to scare the men off by saying that it's porch talk, because men can sit in the rocker on the porch too. Basically, we're just talking about all things life. We've had some episodes about colorism, which is something that's near and dear to me. We did mom and dads, which of course I told you I was a serious mama bear. So those were fun episodes to do as well. And now we're doing dating / 2021 and now 2022. Again, subjects that are pretty near and dear to me. So yeah, having fun though, having fun. Gonna get to 83, going to get to 83. I'm not sour.
So I got a question for you. So it seems like you're into astrology. What signs would you give myself and Russ? What signs do you think we are?
I was trying not to guess. I did a show with a hypnotherapist and I couldn't even think the whole episode because I was like, what sign is he? I can't pick up on it. For you, I'm getting like some Scorpio, maybe Gemini vibe.
Oh, okay.
And then on the other side, I don't know, switch back his camera. Let me see. Let me see. Look, he straightened up. He stopped laughing. Don't stop laughing. I can see. I don't know. I'm not getting any signs from either one. Maybe because I'm a little too nervous.
So wait a minute. You can see us, but we can't see you?
That's pretty much it, because I wasn't told that this was visual. So I wasn't prepared for that just yet.
Well, I mean, you can't look at me either.
Oh gosh.
That's got my government name up on it. Change that.
So was I right? Was I right? Am I close? Oh no, not the buzzer.
Oh yeah, you get that. we bounce that life over here.
Yes.
So what am I working with? What are your guys' sign?
I am a Pisces.
I'm a Taurus.
A Taurus.
Yes.
Okay. Right
Yes.
on.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
the bull.
You got really excited about the Taurus. You said Pisces. Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You know, I had a situationship with
A situationship.
It was.
Okay.
That's the best way to define it, with a Pisces, and it was super weird. It was just
The Manspace Nation has like all tuned up their radios because they want to hear this. Go ahead. We want to hear this story.
But first,
I don't feel
Miss
any
McKinney.
pressure.
Nuh-uh.
I don't feel any pressure at all
Okay.
behind
All right.
that.
What is your sign?
I'm a Cancer. See,
Oh,
see the look
that's-
on your face.
Well, no, that should have worked out perfectly.
It should have, but it didn't, and I don't understand it. And it was just really weird.
I'm
for me.
married to a Cancer, and she's great to me.
Well, maybe the difference is accepting Jesus into your life, and he didn't have it. I'm not real sure. I'm not real sure. But
Okay,
it was bad for me. And and then I had other individuals in my life, like female friends and whatnot, that I had for years and whatnot, that were Pisces. And it was just a bad move for Pisces and Cancer last year, for me anyway. Now Tauruses are just always my heart. I love Taurus women. I love Taurus men. They just, I don't know. There's definitely a bond between that I'm aware of between Cancers and Tauruses. So
Yeah, well, you know, can't you know.
but
can't
you
win 'em all.
cool as a fan. You cool as a fan. You good. You good.
As long as it ain't no relationship, you good, right? Yeah, I had one of them things before, huh?
So, what information would you give to another podcaster? Because there's so many podcasts out there, and there's people that are dropping out because they're not getting the growth that they're wanting. There's people that want to jump into it. What kind of information would you give to them? Because, like I said, you started probably about a week after we did. So what's the one thing that you've learned that you would share with other podcasters?
To just go for it. Don't be so concerned about, because again, it's your platform. It's what you want to say. It's what you want to get off your gut, right?
Right.
So make a decision which direction you want to go. If you want to keep it classy or you want to be, over the top, whatever. But make your decision on which direction you want to go and just do it. Don't be worried about what others will say. I know the biggest part for me was I'm in a little country town. So there were a lot of individuals, again, that was like, what's a podcast? What do you mean? Or, what's the purpose behind it? So a lot of your support will come from outside entities that know what you're doing and appreciate it and latch on and help encourage you along the way. But definitely make your mind up, go for it.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
It is now time for the Manspace Game Show featuring your host, Russ. We have 2 contestants who will battle it out in a best 3 out of 5 question segment. Manspace Nation, get ready and play along. It's the Manspace Game Show.
She won, you know that.
Hey, Liz.
Don't start no trades, okay?
Yeah, let me try to be like, hey, Liz.
What we're going to do here is I'm going to throw out a question and you're going to guess the percentage, and Les is going to go higher or lower. And then we're going to flip, and then I'll ask Les the question and he'll guess the percentage. And then you're going to have the opportunity to go higher or lower just to see who's right or wrong.
I'm game.
Simple enough.
Let me go ahead and dust her off real quick.
All right.
Oh my goodness. See, that's that Pisces coming out right there. Right there. I ain't even getting nothing right there.
Miss McKinney, the first question is to you, our guest. 100 third graders were asked, will your best friend still be your best friend when you grow up? Out of 100 third graders, how many said they still would be?
Is there any lifelines? Because I need to ask, like, what geographical area is this? That's important.
No lifelines. No lifelines. This is one-on-one.
So in the third grade,
Mm-hmm.
Can he rush me like that, Mr. Ross? Can he try to force me to make a bad decision by doing me like that? No. In the third grade, we still think everything is rainbow and sunshine. So I'm going to go with 100%.
Lower.
Les.
Yeah, it's like 86%.
88.
No, look at that.
88.
I
Next
promise
question.
you, he did not share these answers and questions with
These
Oh,
I
the
have
fact
not.
that y'all just told me that makes me really believe it. Okay.
I know you was thinking it. That's that cancer vibe, man. You.
You right. You right.
All right, Les. Question is to you.
All right, let's go, dog.
What percent of
What's your answer?
I gotta hear the question first.
That's that pressure coming on you, Les.
Right.
What percent of current U.S. female senators were once in the Girl Scouts?
Oh, you know what? I can't say that. 15%.
All right, Miss McKinney, higher or lower?
Higher. The Girl Scouts give us the foundation we need to keep it moving. Higher.
72%. We
In
are.
your face.
I had so much to say about that.
The game is tied at 1.
It's got to be lower the way they act. I mean, come on, man. It's got to be lower. They ain't got no dang on value. All right.
The question back to Miss McKinney. 100 men were asked, do you wish you were taller? How many said they do wish they were taller?
Wrong. Don't even think that answer. It's wrong.
I'm going to go with 75%.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Higher or lower?
Average
I wish I was a
height
little bit
for
taller. I wish I was a baller.
I know, right? I know.
It's a whole song out there. You should
Mhm.
probably say higher, Les.
See that? The reverse psychology doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on me. Unfortunately, I think she's about right. So I'm gonna go with God. I'm gonna be a rebel. You know what? Only 50%.
Ugh.
39.
Yeah.
I'm just shaking my head. I don't know.
All right, Les.
Yo, let's
Question.
get it.
You're up 2-1.
Yeah.
We asked 100 women in their 50s, do you have a tattoo?
What? You asked 100 women,
100?
96%.
100 women in their 50s. How many have a tattoo?
90.
How many
I'm
said
gonna
they
say it 90% or higher.
Miss McKinney?
I'm going to go with lower. If you're 50, then you probably already heard the scripture about tattoos and whatnot. So it was probably drilled into your head when you were younger in one of them Wednesday night meetings. So I'm going to go with lower.
21.
What?
Yes.
Man,
21 said they have a
man, where they get these women from? Idaho.
The Cougars not getting tattoos no more. They're not getting tattoos no more.
No, but I'm saying all right.
Well, you gotta look at the generations now.
You did say Cougars, so that means they was way back. They didn't get them like they getting them now.
Mm-hmm.
All these
Right.
little young girls got tattoos now. And shit
Mhm.
like,
All right, it's
you're right.
2-2.
Yeah.
This
All right.
is the final question. Tiebreaker.
And she get the answer.
The question
Probably
goes to
some
Miss
cheap
McKinney.
Stuff. It's okay. We're gonna let it go.
Can I
Les.
pass the question to Les and let him answer?
Mama.
Oh.
Yeah, but you trying
No.
to set me up saying, oh,
No,
the answer.
this is
Set me up.
your question.
Okay.
All right. We asked 100 married men who usually picks out the clothes you put on in the morning, you or your wife. How many men said their wife pick out their clothes for them?
I'm going to say like 40% because men don't really look to their women for the flair anymore. Let me go lower. Let me go like 35.
I was gonna say the job. That's who picked their clothes out.
Wearing that McDonald's uniform.
Yeah. What's in the policy? What's the policy say?
I'm gonna say the job.
All right, Les.
But you know,
How many men said their wives pick out their clothes?
I'm gonna go low too. I'm
Okay.
gonna go low.
You going lower?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I knew it.
49.
49.
49.
Man, some lying jokers out there, man.
It's the men in love. That's what they are. They in love. Baby, pick my clothes out for
picking
me.
my clothes out for me in the morning.
75% of my wardrobe is stuff my Mrs. Russ bought. So see,
that's
I'm in that.
different. Now, who purchases my clothes is correct.
I've come out with
You
clothes
don't
and
choose them.
bruh, I've come out with stuff and she turns around and she says, you wearing that? I just turn around and walk back into the closet because,
For real? That's how you do it?
Yeah, man.
I said, hell yeah, woman. That's what I'm wearing. And I go get my baseball bat because that's what she gonna hit me with.
Yeah. You talked earlier about your series on dating in 2021, now dating in 2022. With astrology, how much do you think astrology actually plays into couples actually getting together and staying together?
Well, the honest response is obviously it really doesn't. Mm-hmm. As you mature, I think you make the decision more with your mind as opposed to energy. But yes, I do think that there is real chemistry, real attraction between certain signs. And I do think that certain characteristics cross over, it's something that every Taurus has or every Pisces has. I think it's very real.
Yeah, I do.
But should you use that as a dating tool? Like, he's an Aquarius. No, you probably shouldn't. You should talk to him for a few minutes just to confirm that it's not going to work for you. Or at least that's what I do.
No, it's not. Because I said Pisces, you was like,
Well, I mean, I can't help my initial reaction. Y'all told me to relax and be myself, so I didn't have time to put on, You said Pisces, I said what my gut said. But you cool as a fan. I'm going to say that every time we come back to that. You cool as a fan.
I got that storytelling mode in them cancers.
What does that mean? We lie?
I didn't say that. I said storytelling.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here Googling my wife's sign because I honestly don't know what it is. Like, I know what her... Oh, okay.
What is she?
Me, a Pisces.
Okay.
We are like 4 days apart.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate I'm glad you knew that because, I knew what her birthday is. That's the important thing. I knew the date.
It is.
See, the whole thing is I know your wife before you did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, then. That's big sis. That's big little sis, but she big sis because she used to threaten me with a pencil.
Yeah.
She used to tell me all the time. She stabbed me all the time. I don't even know what I did.
You were just you, Les.
I was gonna say that, but that's me coming from me, right? That's me coming from me. I was gonna be like, just being you.
that was it right there. Look, I was a little obnoxious and wild-hearted at the time.
But you cool. You cool as a fan now. You cool as a fan now. Yeah, you cool as a fan.
That's that Southern in you, boy, right there. Bless your heart. Bless her heart. I declare, bless her heart.
Yes.
So,
right.
I'm gonna jump back into a quick interview question.
Go ahead.
So I know how it felt when I heard our first show. How did you feel when you heard your first show?
I was ecstatic and it was absolutely horrible. The sound was not there and it hasn't improved, too terribly much, but it was really, really bad. The first time the content was good. But I actually recorded it from my front porch. So you hear some chickens and a couple of birds and whatnot. Yeah. And so people were making more comments about the chickens and whatnot than they were what I actually said. But, I was crunk. I put it out there. I boosted it on Facebook. I was so excited. To this day.
How many viewers did you get?
2. I had 2.
That's what I'm talking about. Your mom
one
and your
of them was
son.
me.
Right.
One was me. The other one was my son. It was like, boy, you better play that. You better play it. I can see who listened to it. You better play it. You better play it.
Your son roasted you about the chickens in the back. He
did. He absolutely did. Well, later on, as people went back to listen to my first episodes, that was the comments that they
had. Yeah. We know how that one goes because, our first episode, gosh, there was a lot of stuff in that first episode that never made air. And actually, it did. When we did Manspace Mania for our first anniversary show, I played the episode in full. So there was a lot of stuff initially that didn't air because I thought it was absolutely horrible.
I getting text messages talking about you hilarious. No, I'm not.
Yeah, that audio quality in that first one.
Our audio was horrible.
It was horrible. Like I had this headset that I was wearing. Like every time I turned, you heard this clicking noise. I'm like, like now I've gotten so into like audio sound that like that just bothers me just to go back and hear that first episode. Like I almost want to completely take it off the air, but it's like with 83 episodes, it's so
nostalgia.
down.
It's nostalgia,
yeah,
man.
People are not going back that far into our archives to listen, but it was bad.
Maybe, but it's nostalgia. We got to leave that up there.
Going back to the whole dating theme, as far as the pandemic, because now it just seems like this pandemic's never going to end. How do you think that is impacting how people date these days?
It is very impactful. As a matter of fact, my friend today sent me a link where you could get four home COVID tests.
Mm-hmm.
So for free. And so I ordered them and I figured that should be enough to carry me through dating for the rest of 2022. Just, hey, if you don't mind, let me swab your nose real quick, player. And let's just make sure that we're good to do what we're going to do. My last situationship, here we go again, not the Pisces. This was an Aries.
Okay.
So we hung out a little bit over the holidays and whatnot and ended up getting sickly. And I really thought that he had given me COVID or something like that. And I felt like that was super disrespectful because when he said something, he was like, oh, yeah, I know where I got it from. And I thought I detected even maybe a little snicker, not COVID.
Oh, no.
It wasn't COVID. But I thought I detected a little snicker in his voice. And I thought, not cool at all. I should drive up, cut some tires and whatnot. But it turns out that it wasn't COVID. It turns out it wasn't COVID and I was good. But still, it's just super scary. And then we have the whole vaccine thing. So right now, if you're vaccinated, they're telling you that you are more likely to catch the Omicron and the IHYT, PYT, whatever it is.
Right.
You're more apt to catch it a few more times.
Thing, COVID.
Well, hey, it's coming. It's coming.
That's right.
There's so many questions on, who carries what, unvaccinated, vaccinated. So that's actually a question. Like I ask individuals, are they vaccinated or not?
So that will definitely play into your choice on whether or not you want to spend time with the person, whether or not they're vaccinated or not.
I think so. Why not? Like I'm 44. I've been by myself for a little while. One more question to the roster won't hurt. I feel like it's not the vaccinated and unvaccinated is not a good mingle. I don't feel.
It seems like these days, like when you're trying to go out and try to meet somebody, you got to have those cute eyes. You got to look from the bridge of the nose up. So you look at the rest of it.
But what happens? What happens when they take their mask off?
See, this is where that conversation come into play.
Yeah,
you gotta have that fire conversation.
Gotta have a talk game, but you gotta have some pretty eyes though, because you gotta catch me.
That's the answer I would expect. Both you guys are married, but let's be honest. Are we looking at the mask?
You can't be walking around with crow's feet. No. You got it.
That's almost worse than the lines on your forehead, bro.
That's right. You got to get some olive oil layup in there. Right?
You know what?
They put some preparation.
Men get crow's feet too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It's acceptable. We need to sugar daddy.
And when y'all lose hair, we grow it. It's the exchange of life. It's the exchange.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
We get that type of stuff. We just call sugar. It is what it is at this
point. Lord.
Sugar daddies?
Yeah, you can be that. Yeah, no.
Do sugar daddies still exist? Help me out. Do they still exist?
They do.
In some parts,
do?
Yeah.
They do.
So if I'm 44, how old would my sugar daddy need to be?
Oh, that depends on you got to choose that.
Well, that's the thing, because, once you get past that, you get into the 50s and 60 mark, they looking for like 20s. So
y'all hear what they did?
They don't want no Miss Berthas.
Y'all hear what they did to me? They don't want nobody to cook them some spaghetti.
Oh no. No. You can keep that. Matter of fact, you can keep all that spaghettis, lasagnas, and all of them things. Oh man.
Yeah.
So from your guests, from your series, like what have you picked up anything from your guests that you thought like, man, this is really good idea, or like, you hear some of the stuff that your guests talk about in the dating series and like, yeah, you're going to be single for a while. Or, have you run across that?
No, because I'm on that other end of I might be single for the rest of my life, so I try not to judge anybody in that way. Okay. But some of the things that's been very interesting that I've heard is a lot of people said whatever list you had, throw it away, because those are probably the things that are stopping you from, meeting some different people or the person that you need to be meeting.
I agree with that 100%.
And that was a neat thing because most people tell you get a list together, right? You want to know what you're looking for. How do you know if you're looking for it, if you're not? So that one was a good one. And then for the ones that were in relationships, they were pretty honest about some serious things that they've gone through, from being cheated on and having children outside the relationship, things of that nature, and still sticking with it and wanting to stick with it, knowing that the Holy Spirit has said that this is where you're going to be, regardless of how he's acting. And it sounds horrible, right? But it sounds beautiful to me to know in your spirit that that's where you're supposed to be, regardless of what's going on around you. That's spiritual and that's beautiful. So I thought that was pretty awesome too.
In every relationship, whether good or bad, there is a learning experience from it. And if you don't learn from what you go through, you are doomed to repeat it again. But there are some things that are deal breakers right away.
I agree with you there. And a lot of times it depends on what you've actually been through to whether or not that is actually a deal breaker for you or not. When you're talking about, cheating, adultery and all that other stuff,
having kids outside.
Right. If you've never experienced that, you don't know how you would respond if you haven't been through that situation. Right. For me, that's like deal breaker number one. If my woman comes out and I find out my woman's cheated on me, she's out. I don't.
One, I hate to say this out loud, but I'm going to say, men can't handle that.
No.
So that's almost a deal breaker. If a woman does tell her husband that or her man that the problem is going to be, you were honest. But this dude ain't gonna be able to get by it. Most dudes can't get by that.
Right. That is true.
It's gonna be a reference going back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this what your man did? And then certain situations gonna have him thinking, it's a bad, and it can go both ways. But
it can be.
It can go both ways. But men, for most of the men that I know, that I've had conversations with, and it took an older man to tell me. And he hurt my feelings so bad. Cat that I grew up with is, man, he was like, she did what she did, but look at all the things that you've done. Whether you got away with it or did. He was like, don't forget, I know you. I've been with you. I know what you, but you mad and you can't forgive her and let her. I could.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Most men have the mindset that what's good for the goose is not good for the gander.
It is not. And most women say what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right. Yeah, there a lot of times in those situations you get that little revenge factor and say, okay, we even. And it's like, nah.
Well, here's the thing: is you can't ever tell me we even because I'm gonna want to know what we fuck. Don't even do
it. That's the thing. You don't open that door because you don't want to know.
That's right. Yeah. My thing is this: if you don't want to get payback, don't do nothing.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. Because
that's the real piece of it.
Yeah, man. Because it really comes down to, and this is with any type of relationship. Never ask the question that you're not ready to know the answer to.
Yeah, the answer.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know question. Ooh. And the older I done got, the more sensitive I done got too.
Yeah, because I know those soft people, but
you ain't far behind
cool.
me.
Oh, Charmin.
We like those bears on Charmin. Charmin commercials.
So, what would you consider an absolute deal breaker for you?
I need to revamp them, but in the past, it's definitely been someone who didn't have children or hasn't been in the environment of raising children, because that whole thing grows you and matures you in another way that nothing else in life can. Even though my child is grown, in talking to some men that didn't have children, I just felt like they didn't get it. If we have been conversing on social media, especially in Messenger back and forth, and you spell my name wrong, that is a deal breaker. If you are a Pisces, no, I'm playing. Wait
a minute. I couldn't get my finger off of mute. I couldn't unmute this thing fast enough.
I was just playing. So you've already made me feel bad because, you're a Cancer Pisces relationship working. So clearly it was the both of us, not the whole energy of astrology. But I'm going to hide behind that. When I see him, I'm going to be like, it's because you're a Pisces. That's what it was. I like for individuals to be truthful with me, no matter what that is. If you work at McDonald's, but aspire to be the manager there someday, tell me. Let's, not make up some things. Really and truly, because let me say that
I hear women say that, but I have not seen too many of them back that up.
I say that, number one, because I've never had to do it. Maybe that's where I say it the most. But two, here we go. I think that when we look at being equally yoked, it doesn't necessarily mean that, everybody's got to make six figures. Everybody's got to do this, do that. He may not make any money, but be the best financial guru at helping save money and where to invest and things like that. So, you never really know. But that's never been a deal breaker for me. And I know it is for most individuals. Short people, Facebook dating. I met a gentleman, is a little short. Let me see Les's face. I would come off mute. I want to see you. We met on Facebook dating and it was cool. We had, the conversation was great. I was willing to overlook the fact that he was less than ideal in height, but he was mean and he was aggressive. So the story was he had met someone else on a dating site and he had asked her to marry him and she had a special needs child and they had, fallen in love to the point where he asked her to move down here to Texas and marry him. And when she got here, she didn't look like the pictures that she had put up. And so when she walked up to him and said, "How you doing?" He was like, "I'm fine," and moved to the side. And once she revealed who she was, he sent her back. Her and especially his house. Now, you were in love with this woman to the point to ask her to marry you.
Oh, my goodness.
But because she's a little heavier, and he was like, no, not a little bit heavier, like 50, 60 pounds. Whatever, dude. You only come up to her belly button. Who are you to judge? So, no, I don't call myself one of those people. Y'all said transparent share. I told you I was going to give it to you. I don't really hold people apart. I try to look at everybody, but my interview time is a little short. It may be just, a couple of conversations. We were a couple of conversations in, before he told me that story. I've conversed with some gentlemen that were in wheelchairs. I was trying to let God lead me, but I don't think it was God doing the leading me because it felt like it ended up pretty devilish.
Oh my God. I can't.
I mean, because hey, we don't know until we know, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So I think, okay, I'm still rolling with it. It's the energy of a gentleman that I look at. Apparently, it's not his height or his mobile abilities or anything like that. I look at the energy that he's giving me.
Right, look, we both got follow-up questions.
I know, right?
Go ahead, Les. No, go, brother. Go. Oh,
I still keep envisioning the dude like jumping out, like I'm here. Anyway,
he's jumping out of a shoebox. Oh my God, bigger than dude.
Right. But just imagine sending her home. She's moved down here on a bus with her special needs child, and you send her back because she's been what you needed emotionally and everything up to this point, but because she doesn't look that way physically, you have a problem with this. So,
I think that, some people want to overcompensate in that situation. Like if I'm a 2, she got to be a 10, right? They don't want to play. They want to outkick their coverage, and so that's what
she was a 10. She was. I think she was a 22.
But
oh my.
But real love makes that work. You see what I'm saying? If you asked her to marry you, you loved her at some degree.
Right.
And I think it's really selfish and whatever.
And that is the crazy thing, because
reschedule her, bring her back.
I know, right? Yes. I know, because you really get that mental connection. and the fact that you go, because it seems like at some point the physical shouldn't even matter. I'm sure he probably sent her pictures of Will Smith. I'm like, come on.
He just took pictures from the waist up.
And then the other part that really bothered me was like, wow, she got a proposal online and everything else, like, dang, what am I doing wrong?
Oh my.
Putting up real pictures, I guess.
Oh man. Okay. Ooh, I have tears in my eyes right now because I'm.
You do. I see them.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right. So.
All right. Yeah. This just went way off the rails.
Oh.
Okay.
How's the weather in Texas?
So let me ask you: are you guys familiar with Facebook dating? No, probably not.
No.
You're married. Say no. Everybody say no.
No. Okay. Absolutely not.
So, Facebook has gotten on the groove with that. There's actually Facebook dating. I like it because you can't create a fake profile. I'm sure you can, but you got to put some effort into it. You can't really lie about your location. It tells you if you have friends in common and things like that. And then they've gone so far as it allows you to call them within the app, so you don't have to exchange numbers. And then, you can even video with in the app. Of course, you got to sort those out. They're just wanting to do video calls or whatnot. Right. But it is an awesome way to meet a whole bunch of individuals. Now I'm getting good morning to dadgum death, but it's a good way to meet a lot of individuals in your own, little space and whatnot. So I'm enjoying it. I really am.
Awesome. Well, as long as you're enjoying it, that's what works for you works for you.
Because really that's like really the part that's changing the way people are going to be dating in the future. I mean, you look at it back when Les and Mrs. Les first started, they were sending smoke signals. And
so that is typical of the Cancer Pisces relationship then, right? The lack of communication. Oh, he done brought up a sore subject. I'm getting ill. The lack of communication, that is a Pisces Cancer thing. Where is he? I can't see him. I need validation.
It's the Pisces in you.
Communication. And I think what it truly is we got together later in life. We're on our second go around, right? And we're correcting all the things that we did wrong in the first.
Oh, look at him giving me hope. Thank you.
So, and communication is definitely one of our strong suits, is that we communicate with each other. We talk to each other. We'll spend hours just talking with no television, no idiot box, no telephones, no tablets. We'll spend hours just talking to each other. Most of the time when we go somewhere and we're driving, the radio in the car is not on.
Yeah.
So, we communicate quite a bit.
That goes a long way for once you're in the relationship. But once you're, because Mrs. Russ and I found, like, back when we were first dating, we had one restaurant that we would go to like every Wednesday. We met up at this restaurant, and I looked around one day and I saw like every couple that was in the restaurant on their phone.
Dang on phones up. Yep.
And whether or not they texting somebody else, looking at social media, whatever, everybody had their phones on. And I'm like, no, that's not going to be us. So one of the things that we make a point of is like no electronics, during that time frame, because we need to be able to give each other that full attention. Because if you can't have the conversation and be able to have a good talk game back and forth, then what do you got? Because if you can't talk, it's really you really got nothing. You really got nothing
with each other. No.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. I think one of the biggest things I've come in contact with is just a different breed of guy, one that doesn't understand maybe the whole podcasting or a regular 9 to 5 or a job in general, just bad picking. I think it's just been a little bit of bad picking.
Do you think that a lot of men get intimidated?
I do, but I do everything I can for them not to be intimidated. I used to start off by telling, all my acclamations up front. I don't do that anymore. Of course you can't hide, where you live or what you drive or anything like that. But I try not to. I really try not to, but I'm just a strong spirit. So I think I might come across that way sometimes. I do feel that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, until you find a guy that is like you, driven in certain ways like you, or compliments you in the ways that you need to be complimented, it's going to be very hard for you to have a guy.
And so the confusing part about that is I think it was in a Bible study we talked about being equally yoked, and I think I said it a little bit earlier.
You did.
It doesn't mean that the strong, when they put the yoke on the cattle's neck, they're not matching up the strong with the strong and the weak with the weak. They're being methodical about who they're matching up for forward movement. Right. So again, the strong one might not always be, the best bet. So I was thinking maybe a gentleman who is more of a cheerleader is more for me. But then those type of men aren't the same type of men that are ambitious and go-getters. So it's a hard line. It's really a hard line. Another advice that I got from doing the clubhouse was just to pray for the man that God has for me, because it might be the man that works the drive-through at McDonald's. I don't know. Or the man that has issues. I just have to be prayerful about it. And that's something that I wouldn't say I've started. I've always been prayerful about it, but actually taking the time to listen is something I am doing now.
All right. Real talk is stop looking.
Yes, I understand. But I also feel like you got to kind of get out there to be seen. I'm not one who does a lot of
you're not to go out and not to meet people. Stop looking at them as a future husband or a future, whatever. Don't look at them that way. Just meet people, and that right person will come to you. Stay who you are, right? And they will meet you. You can't just, I look at it like this. Every time you look for something, you end up looking for the wrong and getting the wrong thing.
I can agree with you on that one, brother.
So I just say, just stop looking, right? You can go out and you can meet people. Absolutely. But that right one will surface and he will separate himself from the rest. And you won't have to worry about being evenly yoked. He will come into your life and he will fill the spot.
Well, I'm ready for him to come along and get the feeling.
I feel you, because a man will change for what he wants.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way I look at it, because all three of us are homeowners, and it's like when you get your yard, it's not always growing the way you want it. You got some weeds in there that you got to pluck out, and you got to do all the things. You're going to have to fertilize. You're going to have to put in the work until you get the yard to look the way you want it to look, pristine. So the guys that you're meeting that are the wrong ones right off the bat, those are those weeds that you got to pluck out.
Yes.
That's all that is you're just plucking out the weeds first before you get that yard pristine. And once that yard is pristine, everybody's going to be looking like, man, what's she do? How she get that yard looking like that? Because that's all right there. Everybody goes through what they go through to get to where they want it, where they really need to be in their life.
That makes sense. And I'm also taking accountability for there's some weeds in my own little personal flower bed.
Yes.
That I need, because I've been by myself I've been single for 20 years. So, there's some things that I'm like, did he just, oh my God, why don't you go use the other bathroom? Why are you using this one? Or is he, what fork is he using? I'm not, it's just little things like that that should not make a difference anymore. But it's hard because I've been, doing it on my own for so long. It's kind of like,
yeah. So. Like I said, the right guy will change your view.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He will change it. Just hold on to that. And that right guy will do it. He will come in and change.
Thank you for that inspiration.
You're more than welcome.
But until then, the ones I've been meeting have been dusty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right. And then Facebook dating is all across the world.
Yeah.
And you've been meeting.
It is, but it helps
everywhere.
you with the geographical. But you hear, met a gentleman the other day, chit-chatted with him for about, 2 minutes. That's about as long as it took. But there are some that are willing to travel. I'm not. But there are some that are willing to travel. Right. It's like, oh, yeah, well, never mind. I had another gentleman that I met off the Facebook dating that we met at Texas Roadhouse, and I paid for it and everything. I knew he was a bigger gentleman. That was cool. That was fine by me. I like my bears, and I picked a
like
boot.
a little man. That's what she said.
Well, whatever. And so, whatever.
Russ. He's like, oh my God. No,
we go, listen. We go, and I pick a booth, and when he gets there, the booth is not acceptable. Like, he's not going to be comfortable in the booth. So the man says maybe he'd be more comfortable at a table, like being really ugly. So we move to the table, and he sits with half of his body in the aisle. And, if he's comfortable, I don't say anything to him. But then, a couple that's getting up from the table, they clutch their invisible pearls like, oh, why is his leg in the aisle? And then the maitre d' comes by and looks at me like it's my fault. And so, I tell him, will you straighten up or whatnot? He ordered, and he finally did. He ordered all kinds of things off the menu, didn't even eat it. We went outside to have a conversation, and he took my hand to profess his love to me. And as he was talking to me, he went to sleep. And I didn't say anything. I just let him hold my hand. And when he woke up, he picked up the conversation exactly where he left off. I'm talking about just Dusty. I try. I pray.
Sleep apnea or what the
It could have been, but that's something that you tell somebody up front. Like, we're older, you need to lay it all out on the line. Hi, my name is Cheryl. I'm 44. I have this, that, and other. Like, you're supposed to lay it out on the line. So again,
narcolepsy. I'm like, what?
That's the one.
I was real
I
concerned because it took him much longer to get home than it should have. It took him, but the real thing is, why not just admit it that you have it? These are the type of things that I come across. So I'm gonna go with what brother Liz said, which is maybe I just need to stop looking. Go through the rest of this with my eyes wide shut because I'm not doing something right. I'm not doing anything right. So for those. Anybody listening, if you have any advice, please reach out to me.
Oh my God. I can't even focus on the rest of the show. Okay.
We definitely gonna get your information so we can pass that along.
Yes. So
that's the good with OB. I ain't never heard nothing like that one.
I know.
It is, and think about what it did to my psyche to have someone go to sleep on me like that. It brings pain right now just thinking about it.
You boring.
I already like squirrels and stuff. Now, I'm already weird in that way. So then you go to sleep on me. Now you just
it's
mess
one thing. You sitting there doing like a long distance relationship and over the phone. That's one thing. It's late at night. Over the
squirrel named Charlie.
You sitting there. You sitting there face to face. That's a whole different story. Oh my God.
It was. And I was impressed, but still upset at the same time that he fell asleep and then woke up right where So has this whole thing been a dream for you?
Muscle memory right there.
Has this whole thing been a dream if you can drop off and pick right back up?
I can't.
Do you terrorize
And he's driven about an
this?
hour. And it took, like I said, it took him a little bit longer to get home than it should have. I was like, you okay?
Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
Maybe he had to work the early shift and didn't say nothing about it. Maybe he could have been so excited about the date that he couldn't sleep the night before.
He was excited about something, all right. Texas Roadhouse.
Or he had the itis off the free steak and all that good stuff, and he just passed out on me. Either way, I'm tainted.
I have so many more questions, but I can't even ask them right now.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I'm so done.
Because there's a couple questions. There's a couple things she said that made me question some things. I
got jokes for days in this one.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Remember, she's a friend.
Yes.
I am a friend.
You are a
in that
friend.
case, we could really, because he and I tell each other the real.
Yes. You are a friend. You are a friend of the show.
You're also a guest.
And a guest. Next time you're on the show,
we're going to ask all these questions.
we going in next time you're on the show. But this time, we're going to let you off the hook this time. Please tell the Manspace Nation where they can follow you.
Because she's hilarious.
Yeah. Manspace Nation, I have had a blast talking to you guys today. We are all things Porch. Porch Time with Miss Mckinney. That's MS.MCKINNEY. We are on all the major DSLs, including Apple. We have Facebook as well as Instagram and TikTok. We don't do much on Twitter because I can't really figure it out, but we're there. I hope you guys come out and listen and, take part of all things Porch. You will absolutely love it, I promise. If you enjoyed what you heard today, you will love all things Porch.
Awesome. Now, the shirts. I saw people wearing your shirts and your catchphrase, hey now, hey now, hey now. How can they get the shirts? How can they get the merchandise?
So at this point in time, because I'm not fancy like that, you can just DM me and say, hey, Miss McKinney, I want to get a shirt, and we will get one to you.
I need a cup. I want a cup. I can't walk around with a shirt that just, they might just see the hey, and think, hey, Fat Albert walking down the street. No.
It says, hey now, hey now, hey now. It's Porch Time.
Yes, absolutely. Love the shirts. We will definitely have that posted up on the page. This has been a pleasure. We've had a blast in this episode. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. You have an open invite to come join us anytime you want.
Yes.
This has been hilarious. And there has been, like I said, we hadn't even scratched the surface. We got so much more to talk about because we need to know what happened with Vertically Challenged Man.
Yes.
I mean,
you do. A lot of people need to know more about that situation. It's going to help somebody. I know it is.
Yes, because I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's done this, Facebook dating and blind dating and just, I got so many questions, but we're going to save that for another time. Thank you so much for being a guest. We have definitely appreciated it.
You're more than welcome. We greatly appreciate you.
As we do each week, we like to close the show with a little bit of inspiration. Now, as we've been talking about dating and relationships today on this episode, the key to any good relationship starts with you. In order to have the relationship of your dreams, the relationship that you really, really desire, you have to be willing and able to work on you. You can't walk into somebody else's life when your own life is broke and busted. Start by getting your own self together. Winter will soon be over, and it's no time like the present to start your spring cleaning. Get yourself together, Man Space Nation.
Sometimes you just don't need to say nothing at all. And it's one of those days. I'm just going to let that slide. Let everybody just digest that.
Once again, we want to thank our special guest, Miss Mckinney. Yes, this show went much longer than normal, but it was definitely worth it. Make sure to go and follow her on her socials, subscribe to her show, and one of these days she might even tell you more about the guy who isn't tall enough to ride the Ferris wheel or more about the narcoleptic guy. Oh, man. I got so many questions. I got jokes for days on this, brother. And on that note,
get out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out of here.